హలో లేదు ఇంకా అసలు నేను దీంట్లో ఉన్నాను మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను. స్టార్ట్ అయింది ఇప్పుడే వర్క్లో ఉన్నానండి. వెళ్ళంట హలో హలో రవి హలో
Yeah, I can able to hear you.
ఓకే
So could you go ahead the class? So if you have any queries or anything, so you can chart the type of chart in the chat box, and otherwise raise your hand so that we are going to unmute you and okay, start the meeting.
ఓకే హాయ్ everyone. So today I am going to give a demo on SAP ABAP. So before going to learn ABAP, we have to know what is SAP. So before SAP is a ERP software. So what is ERP? So ERP means it's enterprise resource planning. So why ERP came into picture means, suppose if we have a number of enterprises here in the world. So mainly ERP refers automation and integration. Suppose automation means in an enterprise there are number of things. Suppose if we take one college, in that college number of departments are there. Like that in the enterprise, to prepare any product, number of things are involved. So before going to prepare any product, manufacturing any product, they have to purchase some raw materials. And then they have to prepare, they have to manufacture the product, and they have to sell their product. So ERP means effective using of resources in an enterprise in the effective manner with effective planning. When we purchase the raw materials, it involves we have to buy the product from the vendor. Vendor means from whom we are purchasing the product. We are calling them as vendor. So when we purchase the product, and we have to pay some amount to the vendor. It involves purchasing the materials and the financial matters also. And after that, suppose let us take one pen industry. So to manufacturing any pen, we have to buy some ink, caps, and the body of the pen. Like the different parts we have to buy from the vendors, and we have to manufacture the product, and we have to sell to the customer. So to selling to the customer, we have to give the product to the customer, and we have to take the money into the enterprise. So there also involves some financial matters. So when we buy the product from the vendor, automatically it will replicate into the financial also, financial department. So automation. So when we are buying the product from the vendor, automatically it will replicate to the financial. That is the automation. No need to again go to the financial department. They again we have to replicate this amount into the financial. When we automatically it will replicate to the financial. That is the automation. Integration means in between the materials and financials and to the customer, all the integration between these modules should be perfect in the ERP system. If we take another software, there is no proper integration, it is not related to the business solutions. ERP is related to the business solutions. So in the ERP software, predefinedly they are designed some standard reports and standard transactions, standard screens to the business. That is the ERP main thing. It is main thing we have to know automation and integration, effective using of the resources. That is the ERP software. So in the market, we are having number of ERP softwares. In that, few things are PeopleSoft, Oracle, Microsoft, SAP, SQL software. These are the different types of ERP softwares. Why we are having SAP means, suppose let us take the some differences between the PeopleSoft, Oracle, SAP. PeopleSoft. In the industries, some small scale industries are there and high scale industries are there, large scale industries. Small scale industries are going for PeopleSoft. Why? Because PeopleSoft is low cost. If the small scale industries will give the money only for the some small scale industry, some low cost implementations only. PeopleSoft and the disadvantage of PeopleSoft is there is no proper integration between all the modules. Only between some particular modules only they have the integration. And coming to Oracle also, it is little bit high cost than PeopleSoft, and the integration part also it is not properly good than SAP. SAP has the integration between all the modules should be perfect and it should be very good. So that's why SAP is, and it is very high cost. PeopleSoft is low cost and the SAP is very high cost. So large scale industries only going for the SAP because they have to invest a large amount of money to implement the SAP. So for small scale industries it is better for PeopleSoft. So like that, depending upon the cost and depending upon the performance also, the industries will going for the different types of ERP softwares. And what is the benefits of ERP? Why we are going for the ERP software only? So the integration across all business process and the automation enhance productivity. Increase overall performance. So because of the automation and integration, automatically it will improve the performance of the system. Quality reports and performance analysis. Suppose in this year how many products they sell. So to increase the productivity, to increase the performance of the enterprise, so what they have to do. So these are all those things are considered, then they will going for the next year business. So by going for all the businesses, they will go for the quality reports. We have to provide some quality reports to the customers and integrates across the entire supply chain. So these are the benefits of the ERP. Now going for the defects of ERP. ERP, a fully functional SAP ERP system can easily much more take much longer time. Its cost is much more and take much longer time. So to implement ERP software, first of all we have to know the business process of that enterprise. what is the business process is going on the enterprise. So to analyze these all those things, our functional people, they have to analyze this, and they prepare some documents and they will give it to the technical people. Technical people means ABAP team. So this involves a lot, it involves a much more longer time. And then locked into relationship by contract and manageability with vendor. That means suppose they implemented SAP software. So after that, go live is done. After that, they will get some support from the SAP team. Otherwise, if they will get any issue, who will resolve that? So that they will go for the support team. So it will take matters of money and time also. So they should lock with the customer, client. Then customization can be expensive. Customization means, suppose in SAP we are having standard screens, standard transactions, standard reports are there. So if they meet their requirement, then it will be good. Otherwise, if they want some customization screens and customization reports, it will be expensive. To prepare that report and the screens and all those things, the SAP vendor should take some money from the client. So customization can be expensive. If the return on investment, so the return on investment may take too long to be profitable. Suppose some 100 to some 2 crores of money they invested for the SAP implementation. To get that amount into the enterprise, it should take some long time. So they should have to capable of investing these all the money to the SAP implementation. Implementations have a risk of project failure also. Sometimes they will give some improper business requirement, and we prepared some customization screens and all those things to the enterprise. If it is not reached the requirement, then it will be a project failure. Again, they have to invest some amount of money to correct these all the failures. So that is the defects of the ERP system. So introduction to SAP. So these are about the ERP software. Why we need ERP software? What are the benefits of ERP software? What are the defects of the ERP software? These different types of ERP software. These are all about the ERP. So now SAP is the ERP software. Why? What is SAP? SAP means system, applications and products in the data processing. And the history of SAP is 5 German engineers founded it in 1972. SAP is an ERP software which large organizations use to manage their business. So, before we discuss, the enterprises are implemented SAP to run their organizations. So SAP has several modules, each of which represents a business process. Like that, before we discussed some vendors and customers and financial departments. Like this, different modules are there in the business process. So these should be represented SAP as several modules. So let us take some examples. HCM, Human Capital Management, Finance, FI, finance accounting, and materials management, SD, sales and distributions. Altogether, there are some 19 core modules are there, like this HCM, finance, SD, PP, PM, like that number of modules are there. Each module represents some business process. So these are the different types of SAP modules we have. Financial accounting, controlling, asset count, accounting, PS, project systems, PM, plant maintenance, HR, human resources. Suppose let us take in an enterprise number of employees are there. So to capture the each and every employee personal information and salary information, all those things are maintained in the human resource module. And the materials management, sales and distributions. Sales and distributions means it will deal with the customers. How many products we sell to the customers. How the product is distributed into the number of wholesalers, like that. Different information about the sales will be maintained in the sales and distributions. So these modules are highly integrated in real time. So integrated means already we discussed about integration part. Integration means between the modules there should be some proper link. Then only it will pass the data from one module to the another module at a time. At a time means if you purchase the product, automatically it will replicate as the financial. If you sell the product, automatically it will replicate as financial. Like that. So it will integrate between the number of modules. Shared between the modules. Then the data is entered only once. This reduces the chance of error arising from repetitive entry and reduce the man hours. So suppose if there is no proper integration, when we purchase the product, we have to enter in the material management department, and after that we will go to the financial department. There again we have to enter the details. So it will take some time and it will take the man hours also. So these are all those things are reduced. Managers and decision makers always information at their fingertips, and it helps them in effective decision making. Suppose to the manager, if we design any one report, that is the previous month sales report and this current month sales report, if we provide it to the managers, then they will see that report and they will know what is what and all those things without going to the database tables. Why these reports means we are maintaining these all the data in the databases. Then we will provide one report and capturing the data from the databases, and we will provide one report. Then no need to go to the databases and all those things. Just they will execute the report, then they will get all the information. Then they will know the what is what and all those what is going on in the enterprise. Then they will take the decisions very easily. So the main advantage of using SAP's ERP system is that SAP have a very high level of integration, as we discussed, among its individual applications, which guarantee consistency of data throughout the system and the company itself. So this is what we discussed till now, that is ERP, software and SAP. Why we need SAP? So when the enterprise is going to implement the SAP, it is all in the number of phases. The first phase is when the organizational structure and accounting components are configured and tested and then taken live. Gradually more modules are targeted before going to implement. So the organizational structure means, suppose there is one manager. Under the manager, some 3 managers are there. under 3 managers, some sub assistants are there. So in the assistants, some employees are there. So this is the organization structure. So first we have to configure these all those things. Enterprise structure we have to configure in the system. Then we have to test it, and then we will go for number of modules. That is, first they have to implement MM module, and then SD module, and then HR module. Like the different modules, they one by one they will implement. So this is the implementation phase. Like this they will implement. So this is all about the releases of SAP R/3. SAP R/3 means R was the real-time data processing. 3 means 3-tier architecture. Starting stages of SAP, it will develop in R/2 only. So what is this R/3 and R/2 means? Basically we have 3 types of architectures: single-tier architecture, 2-tier architecture, and 3-tier architecture. So what is single-tier architecture? Here we have only one system which is capable of program compilation, interpretation, and program execution. So suppose let us take C language. So when we run any program in the system, it is automatically compilation, interpretation, program execution done in the same system only. So that is a single tier architecture. Coming to 2-tier architecture, here we have 2 systems. One is front-end system and one is back-end system. So in the front-end system, everyone can share data from the central database, that is the back-end system. In the front-end system, user will operate or request for any information. So then it will go to the back-end system. In the back-end system, it will maintain some data in the central database. After the request coming from the front-end system, it will pass the data to the front-end system. So the front-end system, they will raise the request. We are calling it as a request to the back-end system. So from the back-end system, it will consider the request and it will give the response to the front-end system. That we are calling it as a response. So different front-end systems will communicate to the back-end systems. That is a 2-tier architecture. It is a client-server architecture. Clients are different types. Different clients are there, but server is the only one. Initially, SAP was developed with 2-tier architecture, called it as SAP R/2. So application server can process 7 requests at one point of time. Application server means it's a backend system. So in 3-tier architecture, we are having 3 servers. Those are namely presentation server, application server, and database server. Presentation server means where end user will send a request. Application server means system where each request is processed in a queue for load balancing maintenance. Suppose some three end users send a request. So these should be they maintain in a proper queue, and then it will pass it to the database server. System where entire data is stored in a server, we are calling it as a database server. So these are the 3 types of servers. This is the architecture of the SAP. Presentation server, and then application server, and then database server. So before going to the deep structure of this architecture, what is ABAP? ABAP is Advanced Business Application Programming. ABAP is a 4th generation programming language and was first developed in 1980s. So to develop SAP software, entire code should be in the ABAP only. by 1990s, most of SAP application softwares and systems were written in ABAP only. So after that, in 1999, ABAP was extended to include object-oriented programming language. We know in the Java we are having OOPS concepts. So we are having more advantages using object-oriented language. So SAP extended to include object-oriented programming language in the ABAP. SAP's most recent development is on ABAP as well as Java platform also. So we are having only ABAP programming in SAP before that. Now they extended the SAP to Java platform also. So these are about the ABAP. It's a programming language in SAP. So this is all about the architecture of SAP RB3 and ABAP. Client server architecture, and the model is based on three-tier hierarchy. So the presentation, see here the presentation, application, and then database. So in the presentation system, we are having SAP GUI, graphical user interface. That means the current screen the end user using. The application means it's ABAP. So ABAP programming is there. So it will consider the request from the presentation and it will process and it will go to the database. Database contains the data, entire data of the SAP. So the presentation layer, user interfaces, GUI, SAP GUI or Web GUI. If we are using the WebDin Pro, then we are using only Web GUI only. So from the Web GUI, they will pass the data to the database server using the application layer. So when we learn WebDin Pro, then we will know what is this Web GUI. Okay. So then application layer, all the programs related to business application written ABAP and executed here. So all the reports and all those things will be under application layer only. So the database, then database layer. Data is stored in the database layer. The entire data is stored in the database layer. So now let us see what is the interaction between the different layers and ABAP. Suppose just like a normal C program, just think like that a normal C program that we written in the SAP. Just one report we created in the SAP. So when the program starts, it automatically goes to the program starts, it automatically goes to the ABAP. ABAP processing block is there and it will run the report and it will go to this presentation screen and then it will display some information. Suppose if you are running the report of the sales report is there. Let us think some sales report is there. So they want to run for particular month. So then they will start the program and ABAP processing block is there and it will provide some selection screen to which month they have to run. Suppose I want to select the current month. I will select the current month here in these white things are some selection blocks. So here they will select the month of the sales report and then this is the execution symbol in the ABAP. We will know all those things in the later classes. So this is the execution symbol. When we execute the report, it will go to the ABAP processing block. It will run the report, and what is the so it will run the report and it will go to the database table. So what is the data present to the related sales report tables, and it will take the data from the database tables, and then it will go to the ABAP queue, ABAP data processing block, and it will fetch all the data from the database. It will fetch all the data from the database and it will return to the ABAP processing block. ABAP processing block will format all this data into the readable format, and it will provide to the end user. Okay, so this is the presentation server, application server, and the database server. What is ABAP programming is doing is the ABAP runtime system. We will know what is ABAP runtime system, some process and all those things in the later classes. So these are all about the ERP software, SAP. What is the use of the SAP and what are the modules in the SAP? What is ABAP? Why we need ABAP? So what is the architecture of the SAP? These are all those things about ERP, SAP and ABAP. Okay. So if you have any queries regarding this demo, please contact Ravi, and this is the number of Ravi. And now let us see the content of this ABAP course. So in this ABAP, number of things are there to learn. SAP overview, what is the SAP overview, and introduction to ABAP, and the components of ABAP dictionary. ABAP data dictionary is there. So in standard, we are having number of standard database tables. Suppose if you want to create any custom table that is not present in the standard structure of SAP ABAP, then we will go for the custom things. There we have to create the new tables. So this is all under SAP ABAP data dictionary. And then internal tables, this is under the programming part. How to use the database tables data, and how to create the custom tables, how to format the data. These are by using the internal tables only we will develop the new programs. This is all comes under the programming part. ABAP programming language. So this is so in the C program we are having if conditions and do and while. So here in SAP also we are having different types of ABAP programming language, that is condition statements, loop statements, and all those things are here. There is no first statements, only some do while and if conditions are there. Now modularization. Modularization means suppose this is also comes under the programming part. This also comes under the program modularization. Debugger. Debugger is the main thing. So to analyze any errors and mistakes in the program, we are going for the debugger. Object-oriented programming. So like that in Java only we are having the same concepts here, but it is in the SAP ABAP. Report programming. So before we discuss how to provide the reports to the customers. So that's all comes under the report programming. There are different types of report programming are there. Classical reports, interactive reports, ALV reports, like the different types of reports are there. Depending upon the client requirement, we will go for the different types of reportings. Dialog programming. Suppose if you want to provide any custom screens to the customer, then we will go for the dialog programming. Performance tuning. Suppose if we created number of reports. If the report is proper working or not, if it satisfies the performance of the system, then we will go for the performance analysis. Before we are moving into the production, then we will check the performance of the report. Data migration. Data migration means, so SAP is the main thing is integration between the modules. It will integrate with the other systems also. Suppose it is another systems, then like from Java or .NET. From .NET I want to move the data to the SAP server. Okay. So then these are comes under the data migration part. Then we will fetch the data from the legacy system, and that data we will move into the SAP. So these are all comes under the data migration part. Forms. Suppose when we buy any bike from the, suppose if you buy any some Honda Activa, like that, if you buy any thing, they will give some invoice forms, billing forms. So these are all comes under the forms. Then we have to design some forms in the system. So those are all comes under the forms. Enhancements. Suppose in the standard SAP screen, all the requirements are made for the enterprise. Suppose they want some additional fields in the standard screens, then we will go for the enhancements. So those are some different types of enhancements are there. Depending upon the customer requirement, we will go for the enhancements types. And the advanced concepts are ALE IDOC. ALE IDOC, these are interfaces. So the connection between the different systems, we are going for the ALE IDOCs. Okay. So these are the contents of the SAP ABAP. Anyone have any questions? Please ask me. Hello. Regarding this ERP, SAP, ABAP, and all those things, if anyone have questions, ask me. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So I think so no one having any questions, so that we can move to the another class. So I will be going to send you the schedules and everything. So morning and morning and Luzon. So I'm going to send you the schedules of next class when will they happen. Okay. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, please call me on 678-726-9795. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.